President Sisi affirms French President Macron's visit marks a milestone in Egypt-France bilateral cooperation. Egypt, Jordan and France. Leaders hold phone call with US President Donald Trump during a Cairo summit. And the Palestinian Red Crescent says 15 medics were killed near Rafah and calls it a crime and urges independent investigation. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has affirmed that French President Emmanuel Macron's visit to Cairo represents a significant milestone in the fruitful bilateral cooperation between the two countries. During a joint press conference, President el-Sisi highlighted the historical relations between Egypt and France, stressing on the need to advance cooperation across various sectors. They also agreed on implementing the strategic partnership and reaffirmed Egypt's role as a stabilizing force in the Middle East and the Mediterranean. El-Sisi emphasized on the importance of resolving the Palestinian cause for regional stability and discussed the situation in Syria and Lebanon, as well as the importance of supporting Lebanon's new president and government. French President Emmanuel Macron has affirmed Egypt's position as a historic and strategic partner, stressing France's strong commitment to deepening cooperation with Cairo. Speaking at a joint press conference with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi during his official visit, Macron praised Egypt's role in promoting regional peace and stability. He highlighted the two countries' shared vision on Gaza, voicing support for a ceasefire and the resumption of negotiations. Macron also addressed the importance of backing Lebanon, Syria and Sudan, while reaffirming France's support for Egypt's Vision 2030 development goals. The French presidency has confirmed that the leaders of Egypt, Jordan and France held a phone call with US President Donald Trump during their trilateral summit in Cairo. The discussion focused on the situation in Gaza, with efforts continuing to coordinate regional and international responses to the ongoing crisis. French President Emmanuel Macron has expressed his gratitude to President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and the Egyptian people for their warm welcome. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and French President Emmanuel Macron visited Cairo's historic Khan el-Khalili and al-Hussein districts. Macron's choice of Khan el-Khalili for the visit also emphasized France's distinguished partnership with Egypt, extending beyond formal diplomacy to include humanitarian and cultural ties. Footage captured the two leaders touring the districts and the Grand Egyptian Museum, said to open later this year, further showcasing Egypt's rich cultural heritage. And for further analysis, we're joined from Cairo by Board Chairman of Al-Ahram Press Institution, Mr. Mohammed Farahat. Mr. Farahat, welcome to Qnews. Sir, how would you assess the significance of Macron's visit to Cairo in terms of strengthening the Egyptian-French relations?
Good evening to you. In fact, this visit is significantly important for different reasons. The first, that it is an opportunity to stress the importance of the French-Egyptian relations. As we're aware, these ties took different levels during the past few years. And today we have seen the upgrade of these relations to a strategic partnership, which confirms the deep relations between the two countries. And now we have new prospects and horizons to deepen the cooperation further. Another factor is related to France's significance in the European Union. As we're aware, France is very important to the Union, and it is playing an essential role with regard to the European issues and security, and it is also playing a role in shaping the foreign policy of the Union regarding different issues, including the Middle East. There is a third reason related to the French stance to the Israeli aggression on the Gaza Strip. And as you know, the French stance is now clearer and more objective, in line with the Egyptian unwavering stance, and this was reiterated in the press conference today, this morning, with the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. And now there is an understanding and a basis for a French-Egyptian move towards this cause. It's not only regarding the Israeli hostilities in the Gaza Strip, but it also includes an Egyptian-French consensus regarding different issues, whether Syria, Lebanon, or Sudan, among others, which stresses once again that there is a deep understanding between the two countries and the same vision and stance for both countries. In addition to all this, there is another very important factor related to the European role in the international system in the current phase, which confirms the importance of this visit in terms of timing. As we are aware, there are different shifts on the international arena. There is the central cause for the Middle East, which is the Palestinian cause, witnessing different qualitative shifts, and this stresses the importance of coordination with different Egyptian stance, whether with the European Unions or the European states. That's why this visit becomes very important in this timing.
Yes, indeed. From Cairo, ladies and gentlemen, that was the board chairman of Al-Ahram Press Institution, Mr. Mohammed Farha. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us here on Q News. Now, the Palestinian Red Crescent says 15 paramedics and emergency workers were killed near the southern Gaza city of Rafah, calling it a crime and urging an independent investigation into the incident. The victims were shot on March 23rd and later found buried in a shallow grave by UN and Red Crescent officials. One person remains missing. The organization also says it has a recording believed to capture a conversation in Hebrew between Israeli soldiers and some of the medics before their deaths. These are all the news we have for now, but here's a reminder of today's main stories. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi affirms French President Emmanuel Macron's visit marking a milestone in Egypt-France bilateral cooperation. Egypt, Jordan and France leaders hold phone call with the US President Donald Trump during the Cairo summit. And the Palestinian Red Crescent says 15 medics were killed near Rafah and calls it a crime and urges an independent investigation. This concludes our news bulletin, but please don't forget to follow Q News on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram and TikTok at Q News EGY to stay informed. I'm Hani Saif. Thank you for joining us.